All right. Read this, please.
Mhm. After identifying a gap in the soft drinks market, Jerome developed a low-sugar drink. He borrowed $5,000 from family and friends to start up a business and to provide working capital. Jerome operates as a sole trader to promote his product. Jerome handed out free samples in the town center. In the first year, Jerome's business sold 10,000 units. This is 200 units more than his break-even output. Jerome's considering ways to increase added value and identify two features of a sole trader.
So a sole trader is a one-man business, a business that is single-handedly owned by an individual.
Mhm.
So the features of a sole trader is one, is the owner of the business. That means you are your own boss.
Mhm.
A sole trader will have unlimited liability.
Yeah, sure.
What else? It keeps all the profits. So
Yeah.
these are the features that you see in the sole trader.
Which is like keep profit
Keeping
and
profit,
limited liability.
unlimited liability,
Okay.
own boss.
Okay. B, define working capital.
Yeah, we're talking about working capital. It's current assets minus current liabilities, or you could say the amount of money needed to run day in, day out activity of the business.
Okay. C, outline two ways that break-even information can help Jabram's business.
So when I talk about break-even, so the advantages about break-even is that one, it allows you to know the output needed to reach break-even or profit.
Okay.
Number two, it also states the level. It also states the profit or loss that could be made at each level of output. The profit that could be made at each level of output. D.
Explain how each of the following can help Jared increase his added value. Change the packaging and use of cheaper materials.
So when you change the package, it only means that you're changing the outlook,
Yeah.
of the product. That might make it look more, more interesting and attractive to the customers, and you could increase your sales by so doing.
Yeah.
Using cheaper material. When you use cheaper materials, it reduces your cost of production,
Of course.
and that brings down the gap between profit and price. Then, as a result, you might be increasing your sales.
Okay. A, do you think giving out free samples is the best method of sales promotion for a business to use when promoting a new food product? Justify your answer.
Yeah, I said based on the following reasons. One, when you give free samples, it means that customers will be able to taste the product, and taste is one aspect of buying.
Okay.
To taste is a process of buying. So it means you as a business, Jerome as a business, has fulfilled one aspect of buying, or one aspect through the process of buying, which might also improve its reputation in the market. And two, when you offer free sales or free products for sample, it means that customers or potential customers will be able to taste the product without paying for it. And as a result, if they are convinced about the product, it might increase your sales.
Of course. So two, NSM is a multinational company.
But do you want to say no or some no's about it, or it's okay?
I actually go for yes.
Okay.
So two is NSM is a multinational company. It makes cars. Over the years, technology has changed production methods. NSM uses just-in-time inventory control in all its factories. NSM plans to open a new factory in Countryside, creating 7,000 jobs. Countryside's government has offered an $18 million grant to NSM. As spokesperson for NSM said, governments should support business activity. There were also the factors that influence our decision to build a new factory. They're including the possible effects of economic growth. I define multinational company.
So for multinational company, these are companies that are set up in a country and has
operating all over the world.
Different factories or offices cut across the country, other countries.
Yeah, this is one of my goals actually. So B, identify two reasons why government might support business activity.
Yeah, government would support business activity. One, because if business activity, supporting business activity, one of the reasons why government would want to support business activity is to increase employment opportunity.
Yeah.
And increasing employment opportunity or increasing or reducing unemployment rate is the same as increasing employment. So it's one of the objectives of government.
Yeah,
and to achieve it, yes.
Yeah, and another thing is about taxes.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah. But let's still talk about increasing job opportunity or employment opportunity. If government supports businesses that are dying, like going down, By supporting them, by financing them, this would encourage them to continue their operations without laying off workers. Because if they lay off workers, that means workers lost their job. That means government failure. Government is unable to fulfill its responsibility in terms of employment, increasing employment, or reducing or lowering employment opportunity. So two, it also increases government revenue through tax. So when I talk about increasing government revenue here, two ways here. One, it could increase government revenue in terms of tax, corporate tax. Because if firms are able to continue, if firms were able to continue their operations, they are able to increase their output, meaning they can sell more. As a result, they may make more profits. That means government will be able to increase its corporation tax. So if for workers also, government can increase its revenue through income tax. Workers that are not losing their job as a result of government supporting businesses would mean that income tax will not reduce in the economy, rather it will increase, because government will charge income tax too.
See, outline two ways. Outline one advantage and one disadvantage to NSN of using its just-in-time inventory control.
So when you use just-in-time, is a method of reducing your waste. Okay, so to cut short of waste, you use just-in-time. That means you get the product. It is only when you want to produce, you order for the raw materials. That is what just-in-time means. That means as soon as you are ready, as soon as the order has come for your production or for the supply, you make order for your raw materials, the raw materials needed for production. So the advantage about using just-in-time is that you would need not to spend so much on warehouse space. Do you understand? You would need not to spend so much on warehouse space. So you spend less on warehouse because it is only when you need when you want to produce, you get the raw materials. So that's the advantage about that. But the problem about just-in-time is that you have to rely on the problem about using just-in-time is that you have to rely on your suppliers. Like your suppliers must be efficient. If they are not, then you have a problem. That means everything does not depend on you producing. It depends on the supplier. So you are vulnerable to the suppliers. If they don't bring your supply when you need to produce, then you are in problem with your customers. Do you get it? So your customers will see you as being unserious, and you might start losing revenue as a result of that. Do you get the point? Just-in-time needs you to make order for supplies when you are about to make production. So that means your production depends on how fast and quick your supply comes in. So if your suppliers are delaying, they to delay your production, and that might make you to lose customers. Is it clear?
Very clear. Explain two ways in which an increase in economic growth might affect NSM's decision to build a new factory in country Z.
So one way, it will increase in economic means that economic growth, and economic growth means that output is increasing in the economy. So if output is increasing, what does that imply? It means increasing demand in the economy. So if demand is increasing in the economy, it's good for NSN because the demand for its products will increase. As a result, revenue will increase for it, for NSN. The second one is, which I will see it as a problem for NSN, is NSN needs around 7,000 workers. They said NSN plans to open a new factory in country Z, creating 7,000 jobs. But in country Z already is having economic growth, which might mean that a lot of people has job. So if almost everyone has job, 7,000 jobs are available before NSN could open a new factory. So it might be difficult for NSN to find workers, 7,000 workers that are needed to open the factory. Because almost everybody has a job due to economic growth. Is it clear?
Do you think the way technology has changed production methods benefits all employees, especially?
Excuse me. Yes, I said yes here. Why? Because technology makes things become faster. So with technology, employees stand the chance of retraining. So they have to be trained. For new technology, employees have to be trained, right?
Yeah.
So training employees means that they would obtain new skills, which can improve their own skills and also improve their chances of being promoted.
Yeah.
Because whenever you go for a training, the chances of you being promoted is there. It increases. Do you understand? So with new technology, they get to be retrained, they had more skills, and it improves their chances of promotion. Two, I wrote here. Yeah, with technology, it could also mean that more skilled workers are needed. Do you understand? With technology, you need skilled workers to operate those technology, to use those technology.
Yeah.
So that means the demand for skilled workers might increase. And if the demand for skilled worker increases, skilled workers will get more pay.
Yeah.
So skilled employees' salary could increase.
Yeah.
Then the problem about technology is one, with technology, the workforce will cut short. That means we might not need a lot of workers anymore. Like for example now, Microsoft, I saw it in the news yesterday, Microsoft wants to reduce the number of its employees. It wants to cut 10,000 employees off this year. At the end of this year, it wants to cut off 10,000 employees. It would have happened because Microsoft had found a way of getting things done without workers. Do you understand? So that was a problem about technology. The same goes to Twitter. When this guy took over, Elon Musk, he laid off a lot of workers. This might have happened because technology has taken place. So machines are replacing workers. So workers might be made redundant. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Why? Question
So,
3.
SVG makes a range of products, including specialist paints. It has 6 factories and 700 employees. All SVG's employees are encouraged to be involved in decision-making. SVG's products are exported to 16 countries using wholesalers as its main channel of distribution. The managing director said, "Our objectives are to grow and make profit." He also recognizes that all businesses activities face externalities for SVG stakeholder groups. Define externalities.
For externalities is just simply the difference between a social cost and private cost. Externality is the same as external cost. So when we talk about externalities, we're talking about the cost, the difference between the social cost and the private cost of production and consumption. The difference between the social cost of production and the difference between the social cost and the private cost of production. That's why when you want the formula for social cost is external cost plus private cost. And to get external cost, it means social cost minus private cost. So the difference between social cost and private cost gives us externality.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Very clear. We define stakeholder groups.
We're talking about stakeholders. We're talking about different groups or different individual group that have interest in the business activity or the performance of a business. They are stakeholders. Examples of stakeholders are employees, the community, government, bank, investors. These are shareholders, I mean. They are all stakeholders. Okay.
C outlines the reasons why profit may be important to SVG.
Yeah, because one, profit. What does profit imply? Profit means that the business is doing well. So is that question C or what? C, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for profit, one, that is the reward of taking a risk. Profit is also a measure of success. Another thing you can talk about profit is it shows that the business could continuity, because without profit, the business might not be able to survive. Another reason is the retained profit. Profit allows you to invest more into the business. That's retained profit. Is it clear?
Very clear.
Okay.
D explains the ways SVG can involve its employees in decision making.
So when you want to, how do you involve employees in decision making? One, you could be a democratic leader. That means being democratic in terms of leadership. So that allows employees to say their minds, their opinions, their idea about decisions that you're about to take. So you are involving them already because you are a democratic leader. 2, delegation. And what is delegation? Giving people authority to act on your behalf. That allows them to take decisions on their own. That means they are involved in the organization.
Yeah,
Is it clear?
very clear. D. D.
Yeah, we did D already.
E. Do you think using wholesalers is the best way for a large business to distribute its products? Justify your answer.
I said yes, one, because when you use wholesalers,
Mhm,
it means that they're going to buy in bulk. That means you might not need a lot of space
mhm.
to keep your products
Yeah.
because they will always come and buy in bulk.
Yes.
So that reduces the amount of the cost of getting a new space for warehouse.
Okay.
Two, wholesalers, they advertise your products and they promote the products.
Mhm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, they are wholesalers, they will advertise the product, they will talk more about the product because they don't want it to stay in their store, they don't want it to stay in their store for a long period of time.
Yes.
The wholesalers are like those in Crimea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know them.
So that's true about that. And what do I write again? Yeah, another thing is it can allow them to sell. Wholesalers, they sell in large markets.
Mhm,
And selling in large markets will what? Will increase your revenue.
mhm.
Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Very clear.
All right, go on.
4. BGR is a private limited company. It operates 6 cinemas in different towns. Effective internal communication is important to BGR. The finance director has been analyzing BGR's accounts and extraction shown in table 4.1. BGR plans to open another cinema and will need to recruit 10 new employees. The new cinema will cost $8 million. The finance director has to decide whether BGR should issue new shares or use a bank loan to finance the expansion. A. Define cost of sales.
When we talk about cost of sales, this is the amount you spend in ensuring that the product is available for sale.
Mhm,
The amount, the cost spent on ensuring that the product is made available to be sold.
mhm.
That is cost of sales. Is it clear?
Very clear.
All right.
Calculate X and Y.
So we go back to the extract. X is revenue.
Mhm,
So for revenue, we could get cost of sales and gross profit. So just write out gross profit. Gross profit is revenue minus cost of sales.
mhm.
So because gross profit is revenue minus cost of sales, then revenue will become gross profit plus cost of sales.
Okay.
Gross profit is revenue minus cost of sales normally.
Okay.
Then to get revenue will be gross profit plus cost of sales.
So it's
So
900.
720 plus 180, that's $900,000.
Okay.
Then we go on to Y,
Yeah,
which is expenses. For expenses, we can get our net profit. Net profit is the same as profit for the year or profit. So profit for the year is gross profit minus expenses.
Mhm.
So if gross profit for the year or net profit is gross profit minus expenses, then expenses will be gross profit minus net profit.
Mhm.
So gross profit is 720, net profit is 400. That's 320,000.
Mhm.
Is it clear?
Very clear. D.
No, C.
Identify 4 stages of the recruitment process.
So when we talk about recruitment, that means employing workers to
Mhm.
fill up a vacant position.
Mhm.
Employing workers to fill up what? A vacant position. That is what recruitment is about. So the first stage of recruitment is vacancy itself.
Mhm.
Vacancy, then after vacancy, you talk about job specification.
Mhm.
Then after job specification, you can talk about person specification.
Okay.
Then you can talk about interview. You can talk about training
Okay.
and position filled.
Mhm.
So these are stages of.
Here I only named them. I don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said identify.
Identify.
So we talked about vacancy, opening. We talked about job specification. We talked about person specification. We talked about interview.
Mhm.
Training is part of recruitment too.
Okay. D. Explain 2 reasons why effective communication might be important to BGR.
So when I talk about effective communication, one, it reduces information gap.
Mhm.
When there's effective communication, that means those workers that are working in those 6 factories, 6 cinemas, right, will be able to get information when they need it.
Mhm.
It reduces information gap when information is effective. Because communication is what? Encoding and decoding of information. So if it is effective, it means the person getting the information or the information passed across is being used the way it's supposed to be used. That is effective communication. And if there's effective communication with BGR, or what's the name of the company? What's the name of the company, please? BGR, yeah. If there's effective communication in BGR, it means that information gap, there won't be information gap. That means employees will be able to get information as at when due, and they will be able to carry on their functions. Second one is increase the efficiency of workers. So if there's effective communication, it means workers are able to get information they need every now and then they can get the job done as a when they. Do you get it?
Yeah.
It improves efficiency of workers. You know, sometimes you have to wait to get information before you act. But because communication is effective, the information will get to you as fast as possible. Then you can also act as fast as possible. That makes you to become efficient. Is it clear? Yeah.
Do you think issuing new shares is better way for a limited company to finance expansion than using a bank loan to justify your asset?
For E, yeah. When you use new shares, selling new shares means you're increasing your capital. You're increasing the capital that's going to be available for the business without you paying interest. Because if you are taking a loan, you have to pay interest on loan. That increases your capital without interest. Clear. 2, selling new shares will mean that if you have the ability to sell the new shares, it would have meant that you have a good reputation in the market. It will show your position, how good your business is in the market, being able to sell. Do you get the point here?
Yeah.
So your ability to sell new shares will mean that your business is doing well in the market. But if you are unable to sell, you will be able to know through this, through selling new shares. But the problem about selling new shares is, one, here it's a private limited company. Being a private limited company, you won't be able to sell shares to the public. Rather, you can sell within friends and family. So the amount of capital that's going to be available for you is limited. Is it clear? Any question about it?
No.
I think that's all about that.
Those are the papers.
Yes, these are